the boat that waited. The sun dipped low over the Chao Phraya River, painting the water in shades of honey and violet. Captain Dira stood at the helm of his long-tail boat, the Golden Spirit. He checked the steady rhythm of the current, feeling the pulse of the water against the wooden hull. It was nearly time for the final crossing of the day. On the deck, the passengers were settled. Vega, a man in a sharp suit, tapped his foot rhythmically against the floorboards. He pulled a silver pocket watch from his vest, frowning at the hands. The scheduled departure time had passed 3 minutes ago, and the engine was still only a quiet hum. "Why aren't we moving?" Vega called out, his voice cutting through the evening air. Beside him, a woman named Dipti sighed, fanning herself with a woven palm leaf. "The market closes soon," she added, looking toward the distant shore. "Every minute we sit here is a minute lost in the city." Captain Dira did not move the throttle. He raised a pair of binoculars to his eyes and looked toward the dusty path leading from the village. In the distance, 2 small figures emerged from the shadows of the banyan trees. "We must wait," Dira said softly. "In Thai, we say raw. We shall raw for our friends." Far up the path, a young boy named Sahaya was walking with his grandmother, Shyla. Every step for Shyla was a monumental effort. She leaned heavily on a carved wooden cane, her breath coming in slow, shallow puffs. Sahaya walked beside her, matching her pace perfectly, his hand steady under her elbow. "This is ridiculous!" Vega shouted at the captain. "The sun is almost gone. Why are we staying here for 2 people when 20 of us are ready to go?" Dira turned his head slightly, offering a peaceful smile. "Rasa Cruel," he replied. "Wait a moment. Their journey is harder than yours." Sahaya wiped sweat from his forehead, but did not rush Shyla. He knew that if he hurried her, she might stumble. He whispered words of encouragement as they navigated the uneven ground. "Just a little further, Grandma," Sahaya said. Shyla nodded, her eyes fixed on the boat that still sat patiently at the dock. As they finally reached the edge of the pier, Captain Dira stepped down from his post. He lowered the heavy wooden ramp with a loud thud. Sahaya guided Sheila toward the edge, and Dira reached out a strong hand to help the boy steady the grandmother as she made the transition from land to boat. As Shyla stepped onto the deck, the impatient murmurs died away. Vega saw the exhaustion in her eyes and the trembling of her hands. He realized that while he had been worried about a few lost minutes, they had been struggling through a long, difficult hour. He stood up and offered Shyla his seat in the shade. The Golden Spirit finally roared to life, carving a white wake through the dark water. The passengers sat in a comfortable silence, watching the stars begin to twinkle. They had learned that patience is not just about time. It is about showing respect for the mountains others have to climb.